The difference between a prophet and a seer. Why is a seer greater than a prophet? So in the book of Mosiah, chapter 8, verse 15, a seer is greater than a prophet. Now, what is a prophet? A prophet is a person regarded as an inspired teacher or proclaimer of God's will. A prophet is a spokesperson for the Most High. It's a person that the Most High speaks through. They are a speaker box for the Most High. That is a prophet. The Lord speaks through you. Now, what is a seer? A seer is a person who sees, an observer, a person who prophesies future events, a person who sees into the spiritual realm, a person who uses all their six senses. A seer is a little bit different from a prophet. They're also prophets. So a seer sees. These teachers insist there are two categories of prophetic messages God hands us: message we hear and message we see. Prophets hear. Seers see and hear. Simply put, the seer gets the visual message. Sometimes this will be any sort of a vision. Might be a mental picture, which they see in their head. Might be a visual picture. They see an image in the room or projected on someone, exactly like animated reality goggles. Might be a dream, whether asleep or awake. Might be a full-on vision with the Holy Spirit picks you up and takes you to heaven or anywhere else. Other prophecy teachers insist they may only be the visual pictures and visions. They count mental images as just another form of data God drops into your brain and not part of a seer's quite ability. Dreams too. They figure the prophets who do dream are dreamers, but not necessarily seers unless they actually see visions. Seers, watch out. These teachers are big on intellectual discernment. Seers are prophets, but seers particularly pay attention to people's motives and intentions. They see what's going on in the world today, and they recognize what God has to say about it, whether for or against it. They watch out for moral integrity and truth. They make sure to not fall for the latest Christian fads in popular culture. They keep their eyes on God, as well as serve as his watchmen. Seers see the spiritual world, and these teachers are big on supernatural discernment. Seers are prophets, but while everyone else only sees in the natural, meaning the physical world, a seer has the ability to see what happens in the spiritual, meaning what's invisibly going on among spiritual beings and forces. Seers can detect spiritual things. They can see angels and demons. Some teachers claim seers aren't giving God's message to other people like other prophets. All right, so we're going to go into seer sees. So if you want to learn more about the seer, and if your child is a seer, or if you're a seer, to learn how to enhance your ability or to help you with things that you go through that you might not quite understand. All right, so Daniel and Ezekiel were seers. Isaiah and Jeremiah were prophets. Okay, some people can know events in the spirit before they happen in the physical. This is a prophetic gift, one of the spiritual gifts. Seers are a group within this prophetic gifting in that they see the events in the spirit before they happen. This is the most broad example of what a seer is. Generally speaking, a seer is someone who can see what God or other spirits are doing in the spiritual world. Normally, so it's someone who could see in the spiritual world, and seers use all their spiritual abilities: smell, their ears, and okay, we're gonna just go in so I can explain it more. A seer is someone who can perceive the spirit world with his or her own eyes, or in his or her own mind's eyes. A seer is someone who can visually see spirit beings or other things in the spirit. Physical abilities. A seer can see things before they happen, and they can see past events. Okay, seers and others develop. Okay. Let's go. Let's read some more about seers. Okay, some seers see very clearly. For some seers, something is literally hitting their retina, and their optic nerves are literally transferring this information to part of their brain, which literally interprets it visually. They see very clearly things in the spiritual realm. There is some brain chemistry activity going on related to this very clear ability to see things. Biochemical reactions may be at play. When seers take certain antidepressants or anti-migraine drugs, the brain chemistry changes in such a way that sometimes the seer's ability is shut off completely. And yet, when these same people abstain from these medicines about 2 weeks later, the seer's ability appears to switch back on. Okay, some seers see less clearly, right? Their brains are picking up some sort of impression from the spiritual realm, which it interprets visually, but the activity is probably not hitting their retinas, or at least not as clearly as the above type. So we got children seers, all right? So we got some seers. Most seers cannot control this ability. For some, it comes and goes. For others, it's always apparent. If a dog suddenly runs into your line of sight, you will see it. You cannot help it. Maybe you don't notice the dog because your mind is on something else, but you'll still see it, perhaps later. If someone asks you, did you see a dog running away? You might recall what you saw. I just want to get into something else.